Ah. Hi, I'm Gale Crosby, Superintendent of Schools here in Oregon. I'm excited to be able to tell you a little bit of the opportunity that we have to participate in His plan of salvation. Specifically, when we work with young people, we have the chance to change lives for eternity. That's why I'm excited to tell you about Charitable Lead Trust. Now this here is called the driving range, and in the driving range you come out before a round or even between rounds just to sharpen up, just to get a little lead on your game, just to keep your game up. And when we talk about hitting the ball, you always address the ball and you always practice and make sure that things are in form. Backswing. I want to tell you about a donor who came to me a couple weeks ago, and he says, how can I help, Gale? How can I help make a difference for the future of our students in our schools? Because I know they need some help. And we talked about different ways. And he says, here's how I want to do it. I read up and found a model Harvard University uses for some of their donors. And he says, I've been blessed and I have some funds, and I'd like to be able to set aside the interest from those funds for a set number of years. And that's going to be about $600,000 that's going to come in from the proceeds of those funds. At the end of that 10 years, the money goes back to his estate, where it always is. So for him, he gets a nice charitable write-off, and he makes a true difference in the lives of young people. A charitable lead trust is a wonderful example of how to make a difference in the life of a young person, while at the same time making sure your family's security is solid for the future. The North Pacific Union Trust Office or your local conference trust department, either one is knowledgeable on setting up these trusts, and you can help any school that you want to make a difference in the life of a young person. Go to willplan.org, click on Connect with an Advisor. There you will be able to choose the state in which you live. Scroll down and get a phone number of a plan giving advisor who can talk with you about your estate plan. We're excited about a model where people can give of their resources to help young people get a Seventh-day Adventist Christian education and choose Jesus. One of the things I like to do is to go golfing, but each of us have assets that we can share with one another. Let's go putting. It's amazing because I can imagine the pressure that a professional golfer would have on a golf course as he lines up that shot that would be $500,000 or $200,000, a $300,000 difference on a putt. The nice, exciting thing about being a Christian is that God has already made that putt for us. We know that ball's going in the cup at the end of the day. In fact, it's already in the cup. When you putt, you come down to your last hole, you line up your ball, you read the green, you get down low, you make sure that ball is going to break a little bit left, so you lead that putt that way. On a charitable lead trust, it's a little different than golfing, because when you golf, you have two possible outcomes. One of them is that ball is going to track and go right in that hole. Another one is it's just going to barely miss. But when you give to a charitable lead trust, that ball is going to go in the hole each and every time. Let's line up this putt and see where it goes. Always use a practice stroke. Line up that ball. It's going to break a little bit to the left. Watch this as it goes towards the hole and drops right in. Every time you can guarantee that with a charitable lead trust. You know, I was just thinking, as I put these clubs into the car, it's like a charitable lead trust. I'm going to be able to pull these clubs out again and use them again. I haven't used up the assets on a charitable lead trust. They're going to be there for me again. So whether it's a charitable lead trust, whether it's an endowment for scholarships, we know that your contribution will make a difference in the life of a young person.